pull out all the swirls and the rids. Rids stands for random, isolated, deeper scratches, and there were a few here left over from the sanding process. Then we're going to switch over to the polish, okay? And we're going to take and polish this, and then we're going to put the Blackfire, let's see, the Blackfire, what we got here for the paste? The Midnight Sun Blackfire paste wax on it. We're going to do that by machine. Now for pads on this, we're going to use the Hydratech Cyan. This is a cutting pad. So we're going to use this with the compound, with the combination of DA polishers, the Flex 34-1, and we're also going to be using some rotary buffers on this to get in and do some what I call surgical buffing into the tight areas where there's still some sanding marks left over. And then after the polish, we're going to use the Hydratech Tangerine polishing pad, and then when we go to put the wax on by machine, we're going to use the Crimson pad. But that's what we're going to do on this, and I've got a team of guys that are going to give me a hand with this. Now over here we've got the 67 with a gold finish on it. Now this is base coat, clear coat, and how long has it been, Dan, since this thing's had anything done to it? Like polish or wax or anything?
A good year and a half or two.
Okay, so this is called the baggie test. And anybody here that's never done this, I encourage you to try this. In fact, walk over. Has this been wiped down yet?
Yes.
Okay, so this whole car has been wiped down. I think they use the detailer's rinseless wash and gloss for this. This is called the baggie test. And if I take my hand and I feel this, actually it feels pretty rough. But if it ever feels smooth and you really want to test, here's another thing. It's called the baggie test. If you come down here and just feel this feels like a piece of 80 grit sandpaper. So even though on camera this car can have a nice shine and look really good, this finish needs to be clayed, and chances are really good it needs to be polished. So we're going to take a machine, we're going to clay and machine polish this, and to do this we're going to use some products from the Mother's car care line. Hey, can someone grab me that Mother's product over there? It's called Stage 1 Power Polish. Yeah, bring that right over here. It's Matt, right? Yep. Matt's going to be here with us tonight. Matt's from the forum. Say hi to everybody out there in the world, Matt.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, this is the Mother's power polish, and this can be used by machine or by hand. I talked to Forrest Tosi at Mother's today, and he said that this is pad dependent. And what that means, that's a good thing. That means if you need an aggressive cut, use this with an aggressive pad. If you just need a little cut, use it with a polishing pad. So we're going to do a little bit of testing with this finish right here using this product, and we'll probably end up using a combination of cutting pads, polishing pads. Then we're going to machine wax it with the Mother's Carnubo paste wax, and we're going to apply that again with the machine also. But that's what's going to go on here. Then we're probably going to hit this top and bring this back to life up here. Anyway, so that's what's going to happen tonight. We're going to have two Camaros. We're going to buff them both out. We're going to create show car finishes. Just so you know, earlier we had planned on having a 1941 Plymouth Coupe here. They had some technical problems with it as they were driving it here, so we're going to reschedule that for another night. Okay, so everybody here that's never clayed, first come up here, grab the baggie, and feel this paint. I want you to feel how rough this paint is. Where's the baggies at? Just all you gotta do is put your hand in that baggie, and then just feel this paint. Come on up here, Don. Feel this. Because see, now feel the windshield. This should feel more like the windshield. See, this feels smooth. And this feels rough, okay? And everybody, hey, Don here just had a good question. Everybody, real quick, once you got a microfiber towel and it's dirty, I want it back here in this box, okay? That way we don't keep using them. Microfiber towels are up there in the cabinet. Okay, cling. Okay, who here has never clayed before? Raise your hand, okay? Don, you never clayed? Everybody else here clayed? Okay, real quick, I'm going to give Don a real quick lesson on how to clay. And if you're out there in the TV world and you've never clayed, it's real simple, so just watch. I never have enough garbage cans around for trash.
I can understand that.
Okay, so when you buy the clay, it comes, looks like a bar of soap, just like this. And you don't want to use it like that. Now, I've seen pictures on the internet of people taking it just like this and rubbing it on the paint. You could if you wanted to, but let me show you a little better technique. And I always do this, it's called the Hulk. Put it between your palms, and give it the old Hulk squeeze. And that kind of spreads it out and gets it going. Then take your thumbs and your fingers and just knead this till it looks kind of like a pancake. In the last 25, 30 years, I've seen a lot of wacky ways to clay paint, but the whole idea is to get in there, get the above surface bonded contaminants off the paint so you can move on to the next step. You don't want to spend all day on this step, so you want to do it real quickly. And by kneading this into a pancake about 5.5 inches in diameter, look at that. It fits across my hand, okay? Now I've got a large surface here. It's going to enable me to tackle a huge surface really quick. So to use this, we're going to use the Mother Showtime as a clay lube. I'm going to take this off, put it on the spray. You want to spray some product.
How do you handle louvers?
Pardon me?
How do you handle louvers?
Well, if you really want to get the louvers, you can get up there and just do a little bit at a time with a chunk of clay. And that's a good question. Usually I skip that. I have a policy called major on the majors, minor on the minors. But you could do that, or you could actually just get some polish and probably polish it off. Okay, now you want to put this so your fingertips pass that clay. You don't want your fingertips on it, you want it past it. You want to put some clay lube right onto the clay patty. Then you come down here, and it's not a slow movement. You'd be here all day. It's a quick movement. Get down here and clay. And I don't know what's on here, but I'll guarantee you in a few seconds I'm going to turn this over. We'll probably see some kind of color of the contaminant coming off onto the clay bar. You can go in circles, straight lines, it doesn't matter because we're going to polish this thing anyway. Theoretically, the clay doesn't scratch the paint. Some paints are real sensitive, so you could see some marring. Take a look at that, Don. What do you see on there?
Looks like some discoloration.
Some kind of black gunk coming off there, huh? You guys all see that? Okay, so this thing definitely needs to be clayed. Now, after you clay a section, you don't want to let this sit there and dry. You want to hold this for me? I always tell people if they stand next to me, I put them to work. I always take the tag off these things before you start wiping paint down. Always take your microfiber towels, fold them 4 ways. It gives you 8 sides to wipe with. Spreads out the pressure of your hand. That isn't important right now, but it is when you go to pull polish and wax off. So wipe this off. Flip the towel to dry side. Okay, you remember what that paint felt like when you put that baggie on your hand? Done?
Yes.
Okay. Now, put that baggie back on your hand. Let me give you a fresh baggie that doesn't have any liquid on it. Where'd my baggies go?
Of course, they'll be in a surgical place.
There you go. Go ahead. Thank you. Okay. Put your hand in that baggie. Now, when you do this, these are the really thin baggie, which helps increase the sensitivity to the filling. No, hold on. Let's fill the icky part first, okay? We never clayed this section, did we? Feel how rough it is? Yep. So when you inspect with your eyes or with your hands, you always fill the icky or the abused, the neglected part first. Now come up here. Ooh, doesn't that feel good? Yeah, okay, so hey, oh yeah, that's really nice, isn't it? So that's the first step, is to get those above surface bonded contaminants off the paint. And this does a couple things. One, when you're machine polishing, you don't want to loosen any of these contaminants to get them into the polishing process because they could put swirls into the paint. Also, it gets them out of the way so your polish, your compound, whatever you're using can go right to work onto the paint. And the other thing is anytime you have above surface bonded contaminants, that creates texture on the paint. Texture diminishes gloss. I think we can all agree that a great looking finish is a glossy finish, correct? Okay, so claying restores smoothness. Gloss comes from smoothness. So by claying, we've already made this side of the hood much glossier than that side of the hood. And that's just the first step. Next we'll machine polish it, then we'll wax it, and then we'll have that show car finish that you want. So, okay. So if you've all clayed before, there's clay over here, there's lube over here, and I'm going to get a couple more bottles here, but it's right here. So go ahead and, just like I said, pull it out of the wrapper, form it into like a pancake. We want to go ahead and clay the sides and all the horizontal surfaces. Let's hit this windshield too, just in case there's any contaminants on here. Yeah, go ahead and hit the side glass, because usually whatever's on the paint is going to be on any of the horizontal surfaces. This doesn't feel too bad, but since we're here and I got some people working, let's just go ahead and clay it. Okay, over here, let's get started on this. I'm going to have Rennie, Steve, and Tommy. You guys have all been here, worked on multiple cars. You're real familiar with all the tools that we're going to use on this thing. Dan, you want to help out on this one? And your friend Tommy, right? Tom? Okay. So let's have you guys on this. Let's have this team over here on this one. Bill, you want to work with Don over here? Okay. So what we're going to do with this, I already did a test spot. Okay? I already did a test spot. Now, we always talk about using the least aggressive product to get the job done. On this side right here, where's my swirl finder light? You got one? Okay. Okay, Rennie, since you're standing right there, go ahead. How's that look? Do you see the swirls?
Yeah.
Okay, come over here.
Looks better.
Better, but not perfect, right? Now step up here. Now this is where I use the compound. Let me get some of that dust off there.
Yeah, that's much better.
Much better. Okay, so in keeping with the theory of using the least aggressive product to get the job done, I tested out, let me get the exact name on this. Okay, it's the SRC, that means scratch resistant clear coat. So this is formulated for the new scratch resistant clear coats like the ceramic clears, but you can use it on any paint system. It works phenomenal. But this is a very light cutting polish. So I tried this first with the tangerine polishing pad on a DA on the 6th setting right here. It took out like 95% of all the swirls. The only thing that remained were the deeper swirls. We call those rids or random isolated deeper scratches. So that's not good enough for us. So then I came up here to try another test spot. And always do your test spots in a different location. It wouldn't do me any good to test again here. I've already taken out most of the swirls. So then I tested the SRC compound, okay, Blackfire SRC compound. This is going to remove the deeper scratches, so I went ahead and tested it here, took out 99% of all the scratches. Then I repolished it, and then as Rennie just kind of documented, this is looking pretty good. So that's what the process we're going to use over the entire car. Now we dialed in our test spot. We're going to buff out the rest of the car using that system. The only thing that we're going to change is we're going to use different tools with the same pads and the same chemicals, because we're going to match the tool and the pad to the panel size. So with that said, guys, you guys know the rigmarole. Let's get started. The tools over there, there's a couple over here. Extension cords are already spread out. That there is an anomaly that we're going to leave for the restoration shop to take a look at. Yep. And the only other thing we want to do is, let's stick with DA for all the major panels, because the swirls are coming out without anything aggressive. Yeah, but here's one thing, guys. See, on these classic cars, they got this fuzzy strip here. Yeah, we want to put some tape on here because we don't want to get polished compound down inside there. You know what? The rest of these I think will be okay as long as we just work around them. Yeah. Yep. Does that fit that?
Nope, wrong one. I knew it was okay, this one side.
Yeah, try, is that the same size?
Yep.
Is that it? Okay. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the handles on those things either. Yeah, I was looking to see if I had my real thin tape right here. Right there. There you go. Right on the body line. Yeah. So what Rennie's going to do here is, a lot of times, you know, nowadays you buy a brand new car, that whole thing is designed by a computer and built by a robot, and everything fits real nice, close, and flush. Sometimes on these classic cars, even from the factory, the panels don't always just match perfectly in alignment. So what Rennie notices up here, we've got a little bit of a raised edge here, and so instead of taking a risk of running a buffer into it, we're going to go ahead and put a thin piece of tape around each one of these edges just as a precaution. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to get all the polish off of here. Compound. So here's compound. So, and make sure you don't mix them up. Okay, this is polish, this is polish, and this is polish. So these are all compounds right there. Yep. Hey, how's it going?
Good, how you doing?
Good. You got to remind me of your first name again?
David.
David, and I'm Mike live, and we're recording this.
Okay.
So, but we got a 67 Camaro here, and right now all the guys here are claying it. Okay, then we're going to polish out with the mother system. And over here we got a 67 with a black finish, and we're going to be compounding and polishing this, starting out with a cyan. Yep, I'll get these out of here, in fact. And hey guys, I've got one porter cable set up over here for 4-inch pads, and I think this is going to come in real handy for some of these thin panels. Okay. Yeah, I took pictures of that. There's holograms. You can see them in there, so we'll get that fixed today. Have you ever used one of these before, Tom? Okay, I'm going to give a quick lesson over here on the Camaro with this, so I want you to pay attention to that. Whenever you put these on, the pads we're using, actually the company, they get this pretty close to the size of these backing plates. And unlike a rotary, you don't have to get it perfect. but you still want to get it pretty close. This is a real interesting pad. This is a closed cell foam. It's, if you feel it, it's very, very sharp. You know, it's a sharp foam compared to a polishing pad. This is a sure hold polisher. This is the first time we've had one of these out here. The speed is back here, and usually for the swirl mover, we're going to be up on the 6. And you always want to see that pad rotating. If it's not rotating, you're not moving swirls. And that's the kind of the safety thing. So I can stop that. The rotary buffer would take my skin off, wouldn't it? So that's why these things are real popular, is they're effective, yet very, very safe. Okay, how are we doing on the clay over here, guys? Just about got it?
Hope so.
Okay. I want to go get...
Yeah, it's going to cover up this fuzzy.
Okay, who here has never used the DA polisher? Raise your hand. Guys, you guys never use one? It's okay, because someone had to show me one time. Anything but the green ones. Yeah, the fluorescent green, we're going to use those for wax wipe off. Okay, guys, if you've never seen this, it's called a swirl finder light. What it is, it's a xenon bulb, okay, and it has 2 of them. Don't put this on your eyes. And what this does is it reveals swirls just like the sun would, only you can hold it in your hand. It's rechargeable. Makes a great flashlight too, okay? And you don't hold it down here like this. You hold it about 1.5 feet, and then you want to get it so the light's kind of bouncing back at your eyes, and you're looking at the surface. I'm not looking at the flake, I'm going to look at the surface. Now, light colors are kind of hard to see the swirls on. Let's walk over here, and I'll show you how well this thing works on black paint. Don't trip over the line. So everybody come over here and look down on the paint. Without it, it looks pretty good, doesn't it? Okay. Now look, see the swirls in the paint? And this isn't really bad. I mean, this is a show car. It's not bad. It just needs a little bit of finishing work. But these are swirls. What we want to do is we want to get it to look more like this over here, where there's no swirls, okay? So this is swirled out. Now over here on the gold paint, we got the same thing. It's a little harder to see with your eyes, but it is swirled out. Now for this, instead of using the Blackfire system tonight, we're going to use the Mother system. Okay, if you've never used the DA polisher, I'll go over you real quick how you use one of these guys. Now this happens to be the Griot's Garage. The speed setting, okay, the speed setting is on the back of this. It goes from 1 to 6. For removing swirls, you want to be on the 5 or the 6 setting. If you're new to this and you want to, you can put it on a slow setting to spread your product out. That way you don't sling it everywhere, and then stop, turn it up, and then go to work with it. Okay, so here's their polish. I need someone to stand over here so I can have them hold things for me. Now the first thing you want to do is you want to learn how big of an area to work at one time. There we go. Okay, now I'm a big guy. I can reach to half the hood. I could probably, with my arm's length here, buff out half the hood. That's too big of an area to buff out at one time. These tools are real safe. Let me show you how safe they are. This is my hand. See how I'm not bleeding? Okay, that's how safe they are. Now, because they're safe, you can't tackle half the hood at one time. They're not powerful enough to take out all the swirls on that big of an area. So you want to come here so I can just hand see, so I got to worry about falling this car. So you want to shrink the size of your work area down. Usually you want to tackle an area about as big as the average microfiber towel. Now I'll tell you, if you start out working a size this area, working an area this size, you will naturally creep out to a bigger size, okay? So you will always work a bigger size. So this is just a general idea. The idea not being to try and tackle a huge area at one time. You also want to watch out for these body lines. Now this is a body line right here. It's raised. There's one right here. You don't want to make the habit of buffing on the body line. So whenever you look at a car and you go to buff it out, you want to try and divide this panel up, not only by the size of the panel and how big it is, but also the body line. So when I look at this, this is going to be a good place. If you look back there, see the 4-inch Hydrotech pad? Could someone just grab that for me there on the roll around there? Yeah, there you go. Okay, thanks. Okay, let's undo the cord there. Okay, but see what I'm saying? We got a body line here and a body line here. This is a 5.5 inch pad, and look at that. If I try to buff that, at some point I'm going to be on one of them body lines, ain't I?
Right.
Okay, so here's a good place to use a 4.5 inch pad.
So does that just take a different yellow backing plate? But it'll still work on the same machine?
Exactly, it's just a smaller backing plate. It works on any of the DA polishers. Good question. Okay, so again, always put the cord over your shoulder when you're doing this. But now look at that, I can get between the two body lines and not buff on them. So you always want to try to match the pad size to the panel you're working. And this here you could probably get a 5.5 inch pad. This you can get a 5.5 inch pad. But I want to let you guys know that these are out here on the benches, so use the right pad for the right tool. Okay, up here's another fresh air intake. And one of the things we did over on the Camaros, I had the guys tape these off. Whenever I go to a car show, one of the things I naturally look at is I look at the fresh air intake to see if the guy that did the wet sanding, cutting, and buffing covered them up, because usually he doesn't. You look down inside there and it's completely filled full of compound splatter. So Dan, where are you, Dan? Okay, in a restoration shop, how hard would it be to take this piece of sheet metal off to get down there to clean that up?
Well, wipers have to come off and the whole panel.
A big headache, huh?
And even when you get to it, it's hard to work in there.
Okay, so here, how about this idea? Tape this off and not throw compound splatter down there.
Yeah.
And then the guy that owns the car won't use your name as a cuss word the rest of your life. Okay, so before we get started, let's have someone tape these off like we did over there. But for right now, I'm just going to cover this one up with the microfiber towel. Okay, so here's our polisher. Where's my product? Okay, I'm prone to trip over things. Okay, you hold this. Usually these things got a safety seal. And you won't get nothing out of there until you pull the seal out. There we go. What's funny is a whole bunch of time when I've worked on TV shows, I have forgotten that. So you're rolling film live, and right there on camera, you go to put something out, and nothing comes out, and you cut, and you start all over again. Okay, so then put a layer in here. Anytime you're using a liquid, you want to shake it really well before you use it. Okay, then you want to put some products on your pad. Now this is a brand new pad, okay, so it's dry. So this is what we call priming the pad. I'm holding the back of this with my hand, see that? So I'm going to hold it here. I'm going to take my finger and spread this out like frosting on a cake. This is called priming your pad. And over here at this hand, I'm just spinning it as I go around. And what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get a little bit of product over the entire face of the pad. And this does a couple of things for me. One, it lubricates the face of the pad. It also loads the face of the pad up with the abrasives and the chemical cleaners in this product. And then when I turn this polisher on, 100% of this pad is going to go to work for me. Now that this is primed, I'm going to add what I call my working product. Okay, this is primed, but I need some product to work with. I can never come up with a really fancy name, so I just call it the working product. Okay, now we're going to buff out a section here about the size I was telling you of a microfiber, but I'm going to stay a little bit away from here because I don't want to grab that and pull it into the polish process. Okay, real quick lesson. Don't turn this on till it's in contact with the paint. You know what happens if you do? You throw splatter everywhere. Everybody does this mistake one time. Then you turn the polisher off and you walk around and you wipe little dots of product off for about an hour. And after you do that, you will never make that mistake again. But I'm telling you, if you can, don't do it. Okay. Okay, after you get your pad on the paint, then you want to go ahead and turn it on, and you want to quickly spread your product out to the area you're going to work. And you can do this quickly because all you're trying to do is get the product spread out. And once you got it spread out, then you want to slow what we call your arm speed down. Slow it down and start making slow overlapping passes. That would look like this. You want to make about 6 section passes. A section pass is when I go over that whole section one time. Change directions, that's 2 times. Do it again, 3 times. So usually 6 to 8 section passes to one section will pull the swirls out. Okay, there my product spread out. So now I'm going to slow down. Now I'm going to start putting some pressure here. Not back here or you're buff crooked. So put your pressure down on the head of the unit. Overlap your passes by 50%. Come right up to that body line. And then just move that polisher nice and slow. Now I'm going to change directions. Again, I'm going to overlap my pass by about 50%. How many section passes is that? That was 2. This is the 3rd one. We don't count the first one where you spread the product out. So that's 3. That's 4. It's real important to move this thing slowly over the paint. I've been doing this all my life, and even now, I have a tendency to want to do this, okay? That doesn't do anything. You're just skimming over the surface. You really need to focus on moving that polisher slow as you're working each section. If you don't, at the end of the day, when you wipe off all the wax, the swirls will still be there. Okay, so let's come down here and wipe that residue off. And this is a beige color, it's very light, but can you see how it's all glossy there now, Bill? Can someone grab the swirl finder light off the hood of the Black Camaro? Now those are called rids, random isolated deeper scratches. They're deeper, they're so deep, I can see those 2 right there. You don't want to take them out because you'll take off so much clear coat. You could A, risk going through and start seeing gold metallic paint on your buffing pad. That would be a really bad thing. And B, all the UV protection for the base coat is in the clear layer. The more clear you take off, the less UV protection you have to last this car over the service life of the car. So now I always teach people to look at the ugly side first. So when I look at it from here, I see the swirls. There's not a lot, but there are swirls, aren't there? Now we come over here, look, they're gone. Okay? So that was 6 passes with the power polish by Mothers, with the cyan cutting pad on the 6th setting. Now here's the point. If it works right here, won't it work on the rest of the car? So what we did is called a test spot. We dialed in our system, it works here. If we duplicate that same process over the rest of the car, we should get the same results. Question?
Question. You got a 5-inch there, 4-inch there you use here.
Yeah.
You haven't got room to go both ways.
Well, then you don't go. Sometimes, you guys ever watch Star Wars? Remember that little green guy named Yoda? Here's my impression of Yoda. Let the panel be your guide. Okay? You gotta let the panel be your guide. You're right. Let me just show you what he's talking about. There's no way I'm gonna sit here and try to do this. So I'm just gonna run this back and forth like this. I'm gonna let the panel be my guide. When I can make a crisscross pattern, I will, because that ensures UMR, uniform material removal. I want to take the same amount of paint off here as I take off here, so all the swirls are gone over the entire finish. If I only take off a little bit of paint here and a lot of paint here, the swirls will be gone here, but they still might be here. So using a system you can duplicate over and over again helps you to have a controlled method of polishing out a car. Also, if you ever own a detail shop and you get so successful you got employees, you don't want to be able to count on them thinking. You want to be able to show them a system a monkey could duplicate. So this way, then that way, then this way, then that way. You don't want them out there trying to figure it out. How should I move the polisher on this car today? Because I did it yesterday a different way. It's got to be something that's uniform over and over and over again. So you don't got to think about it. You just got to buff out a car. But good question, Don. Okay, you guys ready to go to work? Okay. Now these here, by the way, all these tools come with a handle. To me, they just get in the way. So I'm going to pull the handle off this one. There's some over there. See the Meguiar's? The handle's on there. If you want to, you can just slip your hand between it like that and buff. But here's what happens when you use a handle. The further your hand is away from the head of this unit, you're going to stress out your forearm muscle right here. Not a big deal if you're a guy like me that just does a section and then leaves. But if you got to buff out a whole car all day long, it's going to start wearing that out. Plus, you just have more control of the tool to put your hand right on top of the head. That's the deal. So use handle if you want to. Me, I take them off. Okay, who wants to start out working on the center section here? Someone with long reach. You want it? Okay. Here you go. Remember how I just primed the pad? Yep. Okay, so prime the pad. Get going on that. Bill, you want to start right here where I stopped? Sure. Okay, so let me get you set up with this one.
Real aggressive.
No, it's not aggressive at all. Like a medium cut, maybe a fine cut.
You want me to take those vents?
Yeah, would you do that? That'd be great, Don.
Tell people to check the towels.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt, is why.
That's the exact same.
How did that?
Okay.
Can I ask another question?
Yeah.
Are there any that go in reverse?
No.
No, I don't.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. Different tools work in a different way. The Flex 3401, the pad rotates in a counterclockwise fashion. Rotary buffer, the pad rotates in a clockwise fashion. These here, under pressure, tend to rotate in a clockwise motion, but if you take all the pressure off but let it flutter on the surface, you'll see it go backwards. That's because it's not direct drive. Here you go. There you go.
Like the tape you're using?
Yeah.
Is it really any different than the painter's tape at Home Depot?
This particular tape here really is different. That was made specifically for Meguiar's by 3M to tape off cars. And when liquids get close to it, it won't absorb them and loosen up and come off. A normal painter's tape will. So it's a little bit different, but it's actually less expensive than the 3M painter's tape, which is quite expensive.
Yeah,
but
I
you
guess-
could use the stuff you got at Lowe's, the blue stuff.
Yeah, just
You bet. Let's watch Bill here. Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of, there you go. Okay, spread your product out. Okay, now that it's spread out, I want you to slow down. Just like that, Bill. Now see how this pad is rotating really fast here? Yeah. That's a good sign. Now watch what happens if you put too much pressure on the side. See that? Yeah. Stop. Yeah. That teaches you to hold that pad flat to the surface. Okay, let's get some more polishes going here. Go. I need to go get a few more pads. I'll be right back. They got pads. He's got the tape going. He's got a pad. Good. I'm going to go get a few more pads and then get you guys to work. You want to help out or just watch? Sure. Okay, I'll get another pad then. All right. Okay, guys. You always want to see that pad rotating, never lift it off. So a lot of times if you hold it perfectly flat, see it rotating, hold it crooked, what happens? It's rotating. So practice holding it really flat. How we doing, Don?
Good, I help take.
You got it. That looks good. Let me get you a polisher.
You're not doing the top too, are you?
What's that?
You're not doing the roof, are you?
Not with this stuff. Just the polishes. Pick your poison. You want to pull the handle off, which I'd recommend. I got the Allen wrench over there.
Okay.
Yeah. And then just center the pads up. Use the compound.
What color was it? The blue one?
The blue one for the first step on both cars. The Mother's Power Polish if you want to work on the gold one. If you want to dive in over here, we're using the compound. And we're gonna, yep, and we're gonna polish it.
What makes you use this on there?
Because tonight we wanted to showcase two different product lines.
There you go.
Yeah, because I could use anything that Auto Geek sells because everything we sell works. But I got people out there in the viewing audience that have their own personal favorites. So every time I do one of these, I try to show something different. So I'll pull the safety seal, shake it really good. That's ready to go. Here we go, Don. I didn't forget about you. I just wanted to.
I know, you're going in different directions.
There we go. Now let's find a place to work on over here. Need another extension cord. I got one. Let's go over here, Don. Hey guys, have you done this side yet?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Don, how about I get you going on the fender right here? Hold on, I got a little roll around cart. You want to sit on it? Okay. Yeah, I don't like to bend over myself, so let me go get the roll around for you. Hold on. Yes. Back there by that bench sit, I think there's one more cord. Yeah, I would start back here and work that way. Okay. Have it. That's handy. Have a seat. And I'll get you some product here. Can I go ahead and use that? Thanks, sir. Okay, let's start by priming our pad. Kind of like putting butter on toast, huh?
Yeah.
This is all in my how-to book too. You got a copy of that from being on the TV show, right?
I also cheated and watched
The video?
the results of the video you put on Dave's car.
That's right. Okay, don't turn it on until it's in contact. Now see this pinstripe? Let's not buff on that. It's probably usually softer, it might buff right off. Go ahead and put it on the paint. Turn it on. Now let's spread the product out to here. Let's go to the section about that big, okay? So this way, now let's trace back. Okay, so you're gonna do that. Maybe one more, then just repeat that, see? So you can get 3 passes this way, then reverse, okay? So you're gonna go this way, then that way, this way. But go ahead and turn it off, leave it against the paint, turn it off. Okay, now check our speed. We want to be up on the 6 setting. Now put it against the paint. Now it's going to take the swirls out. Feel the difference? Now you want to put your hand right here and push on that a little bit, okay? So now you're polishing. Right there, buddy. Down one more. Now up. Change direction. Change direction. Do that about 8 times to that panel. I'll get your microfiber towel, wipe it off, and then move down a little bit. And anytime you want to stop, turn it off and leave that against the paint. Most guys lift it off and turn it off, and they throw splatter everywhere.
I'm gonna do down here too, because that gets a lot of dirt.
For that there, I'll have one of the other guys get that, or if it's me, I'd sit on my bottom so I can see what I was doing. Okay. Yeah, look on the very back of that tool. 6. Yeah, that looks good, guys. Having fun yet?
Yes, sir.
Good.
The weekend's the crazy.
I always like to get a picture of beautiful girls working on the cars down here to show all those big tough guys out there in the cyber world. It's not that hard to do.
In hell, I get my wife out doing that.
And remember, I'm mic'd live.
Are you still?
Yes, the whole night.
Oh.
Yes.
Worry about the pinstriping at all?
No, I wouldn't. Hey guys, when you're working next to this pinstripe, just come up to it, don't buff on it. Typically, pinstripe will be a lot softer. We don't want to take it off. So just buff up to it. You're good, you're good. Okay, I'm gonna put some of these right here for you, okay? There's one up here for you, buddy.
Now I better make sure my wife doesn't watch this, right?
Well, you know.
Well, I mean, it hurts, but it's the truth.
Yeah, well, no, I mean the cuss words.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, yeah.
I apologize.
We try to keep everything family friendly.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Look at this right here. That's a big old nasty scratch right there, yeah.
That ain't coming out with this.
No. This is where we'll do a little surgical buffing.
All right, I'll put a little piece of tape there to remind us, all right?
Okay, you want to go a little slower. That looks really good. Came out nice and clear. How are we doing over here, guys? Okay, I'm gonna get a rotary out for that. Hey, did you need a polisher? There we go, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
And there's a, let's see, let me get you a blue pad. Here you go. Actually, bring that over here. We got to change backing plates out. That's for wet sanding, or technically for damp sanding. See how much bigger it is?
Yeah.
And it's tapered for sandpaper. What we got, Bill? Question? Nope. Okay. Nike backups down here.
Now, is there a rubber compression washer or something that's got to go on those?
Yes, there is. That's a good question, too. Let's see. Maybe.
Everything but, right?
Here we go. Yeah, actually, that's a good question, and I got an article up on the forum that actually talks about the rubber nut. Don't lose it because it protects the threads. And then that's the compression washer. Then this, put that on. Hey Jeff, how you doing? Hey, I'm glad you're here.
Cool.
There you go. Now center the pad up, prime it, and you're ready to go. How you doing, buddy? Both of them are very nice. Okay, I've got this set up for some surgical buffing. You want to do that? Okay, we got to find you. Hold on, check this out. See how small that is?
Yeah.
Okay, Jeff here is a pro detailer, and you're in good hands. Yo.
Would be bad if we use this side for this section right here. Just be very careful when you want to use a small 3-inch one. Like small 3-inch one.
Let's go to the 4-inch. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, knock out everything you can, but even like through here, you're gonna need a 4-inch, and I only got the one set up, so let me get you a backing plate. Yeah. Jeff. Hey, Jeff. There's a cord, I'll get the pad for you. Having fun, Bill?
Yeah. This is just straight to the top.
There you go.
Alright, cool. You got the chunks of this? Oh, that's it right there, right?
Yeah, now these are just a little bit of a tight fit, but it goes in right there. See that? Then that'll loosen up. So, put that where you can find it. Oh, here's the pad. Okay, here's a little cyan cutting pad. How's that look? Jeff, when you need it, here's a nylon brush for cleaning. Yeah, so there's some scratches down here. Right down here, Jeff's got a little 3-inch pad. He's gonna go in there and just knock them out real carefully. Back up a little bit, Jeff. Okay.
It was a big 8-inch with the steel. It was like just so many scratches, like a big dark 8. Just that one shot of that, and it's gone.
Oh, good. Yeah, I saw that out there.
Yeah.
How we doing, Rennie? Good.
Finding out to bump the speed up a little bit though.
Yeah, pretty
Pull out
hard.
some stuff.
Yeah. How you doing? You liking that, Tom?
Good,
Cool. Smile. You having fun, Matt?
Yeah. Can you watch me just for a second, make sure I'm doing it right?
Sure. You might not have to push that hard. As long as it's rotating good. Let me see. That's pretty hard. See those scratches there? Yeah. Those aren't going to come out. Never lift that off while it's running. Those are too deep. So just get out the ones around them. Beautiful. Oh, okay. Is this the first time you've ever machine polished?
Yes.
Really? You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
It's a lot better than doing this, huh?
It's so much better.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And what's incredible is the things you guys are doing right now are really simple, real entry-level detailing steps. You're actually doing better work than the majority of people called detailers in the world, because they either don't use these tools, they don't use good pads, or they don't use good products. Everything they work on comes swirled out, you know? So, and it's not even that hard to do a good job in the first place. So, yeah, that looks good. Okay, let me do something here. Right behind you?
Pad like this, when would I need to change it out? Like,
Get by here. Probably a car like this, if you're working on this by yourself, 3 or 4 pads would be a good idea. Yeah. Okay, hey guys, this one isn't marked. Well, it was. Looks like it wore off there. Okay, now put that thing back down on there. Pour it over shoulder. Don't drag it against the paint. Go ahead and turn it on. And you want to make sure you see that thing rotating. Is that rotating? No, yeah, something's wrong here. Okay. But we were wondering. So I'm not seeing that pad rotate. And where's that wrench at? Oh, hey, there's the problem. Did you hear that noise?
Oh, he forgot the washer.
Yeah, hey.
Oh.
You got to have the compression washer on these things or it'll make that horrible noise. And it also, yeah, and you got to be careful because what happens is it'll actually slip off. And see the brads sticking up there? So that keeps those from hitting the counterweight. See how it's all shiny there? There we go. You can't imagine everybody makes that mistake. They lose that washer.
Yeah.
And then they think, well, I'll get one at the store next time, and they keep buffing. They just don't even pay attention to that noise. Okay. Let me just watch this for a second. There we go.
Right around that speed.
Yeah, you just want to see it rotating. You want to get to a point where it's not rotating because then you wouldn't be doing anything. There, it's working good now. But I noticed, I didn't know that wear mark had worn off. So maybe if I put another one on there, since this is smaller, it'll be easier to see. Sure. We used to put 4 on. But the point is just to make sure it's rotating. That's it. There you go. All right, thanks. If that won't come out,
Comes out.
is it coming out?
Yeah, it's just about there. He's got it.
Okay. We just don't want to get to the point where we turn that pad over and see black paint.
Yeah, right. I can't believe that thing came out.
Another long one.
Well, that's not even like, I would take a guess, normally Jeff would jump on that with a wool pad.
Yeah.
Boom, knock it out really fast. But a lot of times I like to be a little extra careful down here. You know, because I don't want to buy you another paint job. Knock on paint, I haven't had to yet. So.
Remember on Jay's truck, we were trying to take them runs out?
Looking good.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. I can see just a little bit of it. That's good enough. By the time we polish and wax it, you'll see it. Hey, you want to take and do the same thing
around the cowl with a couple here.
Yeah, get in here.
Easiness.
Yeah, you can see actually there's some sanding marks on the edges still. It looks like they machined sand this and they didn't get all the sanding marks by all the edges.
You know what I'll do, Jeff, while you're working up there, since you're gonna splatter, I just want
Okay.
Is these sides scratches? Those sides, like, right, say right there, would that be coming out?
Let me see.
I haven't done that.
No.
That right there?
Nah.
Not necessarily this big scratch, but this right here.
Okay, these might if we sanded it first or hit it with the heavy compound, but my fingernail catches on that one. Feel like it goes across there and you kind of feel it drag into it.
Yeah.
They're not too deep,
Okay.
but
Just curious.
it looks like a cat has climbed up here or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't go for the really deep ones. The last thing you want to do is be buffing and see gold paint on that pad. That means you went through the clear. Okay, how are we doing back here, Dawn?
We got everything. I got no bottom.
Okay. Man, that feels good too. Feel that. That is all silky.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it makes it, you know, when this came in, it looked pretty good, but already when you look at it, it's starting to glisten, okay? The gloss is being amped up.
How's this work on a car with no clear color on it?
It works the same, except you got to clean your pad more often because you'll see all that pigment coming off onto the pad. Yeah, what's the question now?
There were some water lines.
Yeah.
You really couldn't see. Like there was some here and down here. I don't know if it was just from rain or something. But
Yeah.
It did take those right off.
Got them right out, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks good.
And you couldn't feel them, but they were in the finish.
Yeah, that's topical staining. Cross your fingers, it doesn't go too deep. Clear coats, though, compared to single stage paints, they're very dense. They're not permeable. So in the old days, like you've worked on enough old cars to know, a lot of times guys would spill brake fluid around where the master cylinder was. That turns the paint purple or blue. It soaks in. That's in the paint. You could rub on it until you hit sheet metal, and it's not going to go away. Clear coats, a lot of times it'll just be in the very top surface, and you can abrade it out.
Right.
And that's because of the difference of permeable and impermeable, porous and non-porous.
Right.
That's looking good, though. Hey, I'm glad you came by. Jeff, right?
Dave.
Dave. How we doing up here, Bill? Bill, by the way, owns a 67 Mustang GTA. Don back here owns a 64.5 Mustang Notchback.
Okay.
Pretty cool cars. They were both on our TV show, in fact. Yes, well, let's get your Mustang down here and do it together.
Got a Rodeo Green 68 Firebird convertible. The dark green.
Oh,
That's one I mentioned. I'd love to learn how to do this. I know it needs it.
does the paint need a little polishing work?
Yeah, I've had it about 10 years. Paint's probably 12 years old or so. Just had wax. It's never been polished out or anything.
I got a, on June 14th, I got a 1970 Mustang coming in. It's that kind of cantaloupe or squash colored.
Yeah.
It's a Mach 1.
Yep.
And the same thing, when it pulled in here, average person looks at it, looks pretty good. It has oxidation and swirls everywhere in it.
Well, I'm sure I did too.
So we're gonna bring it down on the 14th. If you wanna bring that down, we'll knock them both out at the same night.
Yeah, love to.
That'll be fun. Plus the orange and the green will have a kind of a pumpkin look.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go into the cabinet, look for the fluorescent green one. Okay, hey guys. Has almost this thing been, is the first step been done? Are we just about done with the first step? Are the all the side fenders over here done? Okay, then if we got it. Okay. So we want to start getting ready to switch over to the tangerine pads then. I'm going to squeeze right by here because I want to grab my camera.
You got any like paper towels or anything? Somebody's coffee spilled.
One of the dirty towels or something?
Yeah, take a dirty towel is fine.
Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Somebody's coffee spilled over here.
Good eye. Here, hold on. Hold on. What's in there?
I don't know.
Oh, it's Tommy's lunch, I think. Hey, Tommy! Tommy! Is this your lunch? Oh, okay. Something spilt, so I don't know. I'm trying to. Okay. Like, someone spilled coffee. Oh. Have a seat.
What do you clean your?
We have a pad washer here, and sometimes. Are you done with this?
Yeah, I was going to clean it up.
Okay.
I'll put it in the back there. I don't know if it matters.
Yeah, I'll watch that. Well, first of all, Bill, you got a copy of my how-to book, remember?
Yeah.
I got like 8 pages on how to clean a pad in there. And I cover every imaginable way to clean a pad. So Tom, watch how slow he's moving that. You're almost there. You're just a little bit too fast. You really gotta. It's hard to practice. You really want to move it slow for the cut step and for the polish step. The polish step you can go a little bit quicker. But that cut step, what you want is you want a combination of that foam, the abrasives, the oscillating action, pressure, and time to affect the paint. When I say affect the paint, I mean abrade it, take little bites. And if you get it going too fast, you ever watch someone water ski? When you go slow the boat down, their skis dig in. You go fast, they skim over the top. If you're going too fast, you're just skimming over the top. You want to kind of dig in a little bit. So that's the analogy. It's not a very good one, but it's all I got, man. Okay. I think we're ready to start switching over to some tangerine pads. So let's do it. Dave, were you done with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I wash all these and we use them again. Yeah.
Wash machine?
We got a pad washer, but I do it the next day. No, not when it gets that bad. Garbage can's good. I know where to get another one. You want to hand me those tangerine pads there? Okay. Yeah, so we're ready to start switching over. Now turn it around and look how you're aligning it. Yeah, do it like that. See what you're actually doing there.
You want the green ones in there too?
Yep, throw everything in there. I'll wash them all tomorrow. Wow, this is really coming out nice. So hey, we're done with the first step on this on a Gold Camaro. So we're taking the cyan pads off, switching over to the tangerine Hydrotech pads. We're going to use the same product. Now we're just going to repolish it again. So what we've done is we're using a less aggressive pad with the same polish. Then we'll be ready to machine wax it.
I'm getting confused. I thought we went tangerine white gray.
No, we're doing the cyan is cutting, this is polishing, then we're going to go to crimson for the wax. And I know it can be confusing. Here's the confusing part is there's different types of pads and they have their own color code. And the only way to really know what is to read.
And I think Megan put a chart out.
There's a chart up on our forum for it too, yes. Hey Don, when you're ready, I was going to have you work on the hood. It's a little bit easier. I'll get the back panel. You ready to go or you want to take a break?
Oh, go for it.
Okay, let's do it. Here, you hold this.
Same plug?
Yeah, you can keep using that if it's not used up. Can't hear you, what? No, we're going to polish it a second time. We're going to use a less aggressive pad this time. I want to get Dawn over here kind of on an easier panel to work on, and I'm going to knock out that back fender. Okay. Oh, tell you what you want to do. Actually, if you look real closely at these lids, that's good. If you look real closely, they got a little shelf there, and that keeps it from doing that if you hold it at the right angle. I always wondered what that was for. When I started working on vertical panels, I noticed that little tiny shelf helps keep the product on the panel instead of on your arm. Thanks, sir. Okay, put some working product on there. Yeah. Turn it this way. And that way it kind of blocks it. And just go boom, boom, boom. There you go. I'm going to let you do this. Okay, cord over shoulder. Don't turn it on until it's in contact with the paint tag. We're on the 5. That's good. The 5 is good on this one. Then the button for this one is right there. There you go. It's kind of a push it forward. There you go. When you guys want to try this thin panel back here with the 4-inch pad?
Okay.
Yeah. This, across here.
Same material?
Same chemical, yeah.
Same setting?
So, oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah. When you're done with that step, there's some orange pads for that backing plate over there. See 'em? Don, when I look at you buffing, you're buffing a little bit crooked. You want to put all the pressure up here. Try to keep that as flat as you can. It looks like you're pushing down here about a little bit. Just tweaking your technique a little bit. Perfect. What do you think, Dan? Looking pretty shiny, huh? Be a little bit more fun to drive this around now. Need a polisher? You can knock this out if you want to.
I thought it was done already.
No, with this pad, we're switching over. Hey, thanks for coming down.
Alrighty. We'll notice is that
Every other Thursday. My next one is June 24th. I got a 70 Mustang coming down. And what's that green car? Dave, what's the green car you got?
68 Firebird.
68 Firebird. So we'll have two more really cool cars down here. Yeah, come on down and join in the fun.
Do this most of the time, or you show other products? Or
For that one, for the Mustang, we're going to be using McGuire's, and for his Firebird, I have to just kind of wait and see. But I try to show a different line. Everything's real good quality, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's all about putting it on.
Learning the technique, using the tools. You know, we might do some other things in the future, like interior stuff. It's usually just doesn't have the wow factor. You know, hey, wow, look how clean the carpets are. Wow, yeah, it's pretty exciting there, Jim. The paint has the wow factor.
Yeah.
That's what everybody looks at. Thanks for coming down. Bump that speed up a little bit.
Turn it up.
Yeah. Normally this step doesn't take as long. This step doesn't take as long. It's the first step when you're getting all the scratches out. This step here, we're just kind of maximizing the gloss. Any haze, the first step leaves behind. This step takes it out, but it takes less passes and less time. It's that first step that takes all the grunt work. Okay, since we went to a less aggressive pad, I went ahead and I kind of just lightly buzzed it over those pinstripes to get the paint. I didn't want to do that with that cyan pad though, it's pretty aggressive. And as I was telling Bill, that first step is the step that takes the longest because you're taking out all the swirls and scratches. This step here actually goes quite a bit faster. Want to grab a microfiber towel and wipe that residue off for me? Look inside the cupboard there. Okay. That's pretty cool, huh?
What's the second stage on this?
We're going to go to the polish and the tangerine pads.
Oh, we're going straight to polish?
What's that?
Which polish are we using?
The Blackfire.
Where is it?
I put it on the other table so it wouldn't get mixed up. Is that thing all compounded?
Even if you don't go to the stadium, like, I'm going to get started on the roof on
Okay.
all the time. You don't play finishing?
Yep, finishing polish. SRC finishing.
And these?
Tangerine pads. I got some brand new ones out here.
Cool.
I'll take them over. That thing's looking good. Okay, I got this side of the fender.
I got the top all the way to the door handle.
Okay, and Dan, you're knocking out the whole trunk lid? This looks good. Real good. Has anybody got that fender?
Yes.
Okay.
The bottom part of it?
Okay, I'll come over, I'll get it.
I hit that finish really good.
Sure, okay. You got chemical?
Yeah.
Okay. Good job. Okay, I'm gonna go get some pads. We're actually ready to start putting the wax on this one. We're gonna machine wax it. This is gonna be really cool. You're gonna like this. I need a moment of silence. Ain't gonna happen. Yeah, there you go. Do you have a car, like a toy or anything you work on, or just daily drivers?
I have a daily driver. I had a toy, but I sold it.
What was your toy?
I had a Mustang, and then I had a Jeep Wrangler. I sold them, but just my truck now. And then her car, she has an MR2.
Oh, those are cool. What year?
02.
Very cool.
Rider, yeah.
What year? What color?
02, it's silver.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I always liked those when they came out. You don't see them on the road very often anymore.
No, they're fun. Every once in a while it's fun.
At a car show, usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This spot on that one is okay. Oh, I don't know about that.
I haven't got this side, but I got the door.
Yeah, I think something.
Okay, so we're just about ready to put wax on this one.
That old girl looking pretty good.
That one's coming out nice. So's this one. Man, this looks so much better than when it got here.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yes, yes.
Did you see the pictures of this that I put up on the forum?
Now,
You could see the hologram lines going back and forth from a rotary buffer on it.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's got enough polish and wax. They didn't show up really good, but I did capture them. I meant to come down here and get some of the studio lights we used to light up the cars. Like have Yancey kind of just hold it over the paint. I was trying to get a shot. Yeah, I didn't get to it. No. I got one.
I've seen them. The lines move, they can move.
Yep, I got one picture of it though.
I just got my porta cable on the car and I should have known to buy a small gardening kit.
Well, now you know. Hey guys. I think this is the last section we need, then we're going to start waxing it. Having fun? Yeah. Pretty fun, huh?
You guys do this once a week?
Every other week.
Every other week?
Yeah, we're doing 2 different cars on the 24th. Classic Mustang, classic Firebird.
This is what you guys call this grapefruit pad?
This is a Hydrotech Tangerine.
Tangerine.
Yeah.
What's the difference between this and the blue ones that we're using?
Those are cutting pads.
Those cutting pads?
Yeah.
This is a polisher.
It's a polishing pad, not as aggressive. I think we're actually done with this. Unless, right here? Okay, jump on that thing. Cool. Okay, I think we're done with this one.
You gonna do this again in 2 weeks, you say?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
You got anything scheduled?
You know, I have. You know what? I have 2 cars, but we might be able to fit in yours or anybody else's. I haven't got confirmation yet, but I got a guy that wants to bring down a 70 Mach 1, kind of a pumpkin color, oxidized. But we could get yours in here, or you know, Hank wants to bring his down. I just haven't been able to get together.
65.
Yeah, I haven't had a time to figure out a day for him, is all. But I'm always open, you know, to whoever's car.
Okay. Yeah, I know Don, but how about his? He's got original paint for the most part on his.
That blue one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty good, but you just hand wax it, didn't you? We could get a little bit better if we machine it. Yeah, it'd be a cool color down here.
Yeah, we can bring both ours at the same time.
Okay, let me get back to you on a date for that.
Yeah.
Because mostly I just got to check my email and I can't get to my office. But I did send an email to the guy at the 70 and, you know, and say if he wanted that date, he could have it. If I don't hear from him, we'll bring your guys' in. If not, we'll do it the next week. So for when I walk by and I hear that, bump it up the speed. Yeah, okay. Okay, good man. Okay, I think except for Brandon, Noah. Who? Jonah. Jonah. Yeah, Jonah. I was thinking Noah. Jonah. When he gets that done, and you're done there, right? Okay, so we're ready to switch over to the crimson pads over here, and we're going to machine wax this thing. And this will go pretty fast. Want to go grab me one of them crimson pads? He's got one. Hold on, $5 if I can make it.
Not for me. You've been doing this too long.
Okay. Hey guys, is there any more of these bottles? Can I bring them over to the workbench here? Just try to say this a little bit organized.
I guess they did the back end of this second time.
Pardon me now? Thank you, sir.
Yep.
I guess they did the back end of this.
Yes, we got the whole thing.
Okay.
So this thing's been completely machine polished twice now.
Right.
And now this is what's really cool is Mother's has a paste wax out that is in a can large enough to put the pad right into. Pretty cool. We're gonna put some vinyl dressing on it. Yeah, and it needs it. Okay. What's that? You are a good straight man. Yeah, ready to put the wax on. Hey guys, can we leave the polishers off for just 1 second? So, hey, out there in TV world or internet world, we're done machine polishing the Gold Camaro. So I'm going to get these guys going on machine waxing. I want to show something that's kind of cool. For this, we're going to be using the Mother's California Gold. This is their ultimate pure Brazilian carnauba wax. Now, I've taken the lid off, and here's what's kind of cool about this is it's got a little liner in there. You take that out too, but they've made this can big enough that you can take and stick your pad right inside there. And then here's what you do. You just blip the throttle. Don't leave it sitting in there running. Just blip it. Now you got the wax, ready to go. Come on, young lady. What's your first name again?
Linda.
Let's let Linda. Come on, show all the big strong guys out there in internet land how to do this. Okay, now when we were removing the swirls and polishing, we were on the high settings. For this, since we're not trying to remove paint, in other words, trying to take swirls out, all we want to do is just spread a nice, thin, even coat. For the Porter cable, the 4 setting works pretty good for that. Now, it's real important at this point that we don't be dragging this over this finish, because look how glossy this is. So whatever you do, make sure the cord is either over your shoulder or you're holding it. Again, don't turn this on until it's in contact with the paint. And then all you want to do is you just want to take and go over each square inch 2 or 3 times. Now, since we're not running at a high speed, and a wax, when it's liquid, is a lubricant, we don't have to worry too much about going over the high points. The important point now is to put wax on every square inch of paint. So when I say 2 to 3 times, if I just went over that section twice, there's 3, that's 2 to 3 times. Ready to move on to another section. And when you're moving around putting wax on, if you think you're starting to run out of paint, here's a quick way to tell. Just go and stick that on the windshield. And the windshield, because it's clear, you'll be able to tell if you got any wax left on your pad or not. Oh no, we gotta let this dry to a haze. So this, well, we want to get the whole car with the coat of wax on, and then we'll wipe it off all at once. So here you go, Linda. Okay, I've got another one set right up here. Again, since Yancey's here and he's got the camera, just like this. Just blip the little, I call it the throttle, but the on and off button. Just like that. Who wants this? Here, Jeff, you want to go to the back, or? Yeah, I'll trade you. It doesn't matter to me. There you go. Let's get Don going. Don, you want to put some wax on? Bill?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Put that one. That one. Could you grab me a dirty microfiber towel? There you go. Wipe the edges off that off your finger. Yeah, you want to see there's a couple chunks down there. Right back there. There you go. Yeah, let me see that. It just, I always have to be kind of safety conscious, you know, for liability reasons. I don't want someone to slip on the wax. Now, go put that in the dirty towel bin. Thank you, sir. Okay, let me get you going, Don. Oh, we're not plugged in. Came unplugged. There you go, buddy. Okay. Yeah, whatever you can reach along here. Need more wax? There you go. Yep, kind of a spaghetti mess in here when we get all these buffers going. Thank you. Okay, so bump that speed down to about the 4. Yeah, we don't need it at the high speed when we're a machine applying a wax. See how hers is going nice and slow? Hey, Don. Let's check our speed setting. Should be on about the 4. Just bump it down a little bit slower. There you go. Let me get by here too. Okay. What speed setting are you guys on? Just doing a double check. 4 to 4.5. 4 is good for that one. And 3 or 4. That one's quite a bit more torquey. Yeah.
Still got enough on it?
If you're gonna get some more, if you want to, put it on the windshield, and if you see plenty of wax coming off, yeah, you still got some on there. This is a nice thin coat back here. This looks real good. This looks good. Did you do that?
I did that.
You did? Yeah, nice thin coat is what you're looking for.
got a question. I assume if you don't put swirls in your paint, you don't have to, once you got them out, you don't have to redo it again.
That's right.
Now, question is, the next time, you can't go much more than 90 days before it needs wax. Do you have to polish it before you wax it, or just put another coat of wax on it?
And I covered that in my how-to book.
Okay.
Okay,
All
what,
right.
what you do, what you do is you wash or wipe the finish clean,
Okay.
then you inspect it.
Okay.
Do you see swirls? Yes.
Okay.
You got to polish it.
Okay.
Do you see swirls?
No.
No. Then you can wax it.
Okay.
So, but you let your inspection be your guide as to what you do to it.
So even if I don't see swirls, I can still put wax on without polishing?
If you're doing it every 90 days like that, usually you
just-
can.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
What you want to avoid is, you know,
Yeah,
in the old
keep
days,
thinking.
well, in the old days they called it a wax buildup. If you wax too often, and that was a bad thing. Nowadays they call it layering, and it's a good thing. So times have changed. But the problem, if you get into like a pure wax or a pure sealant, and your car's the daily driver and it's outside, you will get some sort of contamination on the paint. And if you don't remove it and you wax over it, you will be sealing it in. So that's where you have to be kind of careful. For your Mercedes-Benz, is that what you're thinking about? Is that a daily driver?
Well, daily driver to the extent I put 5,000 miles a year on it. So I don't know
Okay.
if it's not,
Yeah.
so yes, it is, but it's garage.
Well, then just inspect it after washing.
Yeah.
And then stick with, if you got to polish it, it's going to be really shallow types of real fine swirls and scratches, so very fine polish will probably take care of it. You don't have to get back into that whole compound step, put it that way. I'll get that. Yeah, it's kind of hard if you got someone, unless you have someone to help hold it. I'll get behind you here. Is this side all wax? Everything's got a coat of wax on it. Okay. Let's let them finish that up, and then we'll start wiping it off. Okay, hey guys, can I get someone to wipe the wax off the windshield? Looking good, Dawn. Let me get out of your way there, Bill.
Wax it, polish it, and when you come back over it again, you can put the stuff back in it.
If you wipe too hard, it'll scratch. Yeah. It might be worthwhile to look into getting a different paint system. Maybe, I don't know. It's just the guy that does my paint panels that I demonstrate on, he uses PPG. Man, I tell you that paint buffs good. Really good. Yeah. What's that now? Yeah, of course, I'm mic'd the whole night. Oh, yeah, there's a pigtail right there. Well, if they're too deep, it's usually from wet sanding, you know, unless it came from a piece of particle on the pad where you're buffing, and that could be. But usually you just got to clean everything and just try buffing again. If it's real deep, you got to sand it out and then move your sanding marks. 3M just came out with a 5,000 grit sandpaper. Yeah, 5,000, and that we don't have the 3-inch disc. We got the 5-inch disc, but that would be where you'd use the 3-inch disc. You just buzz it, and boom, be gone. So here's the problem, guys. Over here, there's like some little what we call pigtails, which usually comes from machine sanding. And when you go through and you remove all the swirls and scratches, anything that remains is deeper, but now it stands out like a sore thumb. Because before we couldn't see it. Now we've removed. There was thousands of slight swirls in here. Now they're gone, so now it sounds like a sore thumb. But we're kind of limited on time, so how far we can get to every single little defect. But the big picture is we're creating a show car finish that all the swirls are gone. We can't get every single defect when we got 3 hours to do this in. Since I don't got any polishers running real quick, one thing I wanted to point out is we've got this thing over here completely machine waxed. Before we wipe the wax off, if you look at the top, looks kind of dull and faded, doesn't it? Okay, since we're using Mothers on this, I've got their VLR here. And this is a vinyl leather conditioner protectant. And this is just a foam applicator pad. And a lot of times, just a little technique here, a lot of times what guys do, and I think they show like in the commercials, is they spray this on. What happens when you spray it on like that? You get overspray all over the paint. So how about this idea? This is on. Shake. Anytime you're using a liquid that's been standing on a shelf for a while, you always want to shake it, get a uniform mixture. Bury the head of the nozzle into your applicator pad instead of spraying it directly onto the top and getting the overspray everywhere. And this works on the inside of the car and the outside of the car. Now, since this is foam, all I do is I just come down here and I just push on the foam. It releases the product. Okay. So I'm still getting the same job done, but I'm avoiding the whole overspray issue. Does that look a little better? Okay, yeah, go ahead. And then as you thanks for asking. And then as you need more product, just again, bury the nozzle into your applicator pad and just keep moving around the top there. And this is actually pretty dried out. Dan, the guy that owns this and drives this every day, you know, this is his toy, but it's also a daily driver, and it's exposed to the sun here in Florida. And I tell you, the sun, if you've ever been out in the sun for one day without sun protection, what happens? You get a sunburn, don't you? What do you think happens to your top when it's out in the sun all day long? It's getting burnt too. So you really want to keep up on this. When you leave here today, Dan, where are you? Dan, I'm over here talking to you about your top. When you leave here today, I'm going to let you take this with you. Yeah. This I was just saying because, you know, this is, you drive this every day in Florida. I mean, a good analogy is, you know, if you've ever gone out fishing or down to the beach for just one day without sun protection, you go home with red sunburn all over you. Well, that's just your skin. This is out in the parking lot every day, isn't it?
A lot of hours.
When I'm mic'd up live like this, the answer is yes, Mike.
All right, yeah.
It's yes. I'm out in the sun every day.
Yeah, it is.
The car is. Okay. I have not. Okay, since you own this, tell you what, I'm gonna let you do the other side. And the technique I was showing, instead of spraying this and getting overspray everywhere, is to bury that nozzle in there and then apply it. So I'll let you do the other side and I'll wipe the excess off here. Yes, we are. we're going to hit the tires with that same applicator, but we're going to use it on the top first, and then we'll hit the tires with it. Okay, then I'm just going to come back and wipe off any of the excess here. And this is kind of important because we've got such a nice shine on the paint. It'd be a crime to send this car down the road with a dull faded vinyl top. We're going to do the same thing with the tires. Now this product by Mother's, it can be used on vinyl, rubber, or plastic. So we're just going to go ahead and use the same product on the tires, but we're going to wait until he's done with the top, then we'll just use that same applicator to get the product onto the tires. Okay, when you're done getting that on, let it penetrate, then wipe the excess off with this. Okay guys, we're ready to start wiping the wax off of here. To do this, when you get a finish this highly polished, you have to be really careful that you don't start putting scratches back in, okay? Because it's like over there, anything's going to show up. It's a gold color, it's not going to be like working on black, but you still want to be careful. So to do this, we're going to use some really soft microfiber towels. These have a rolled edge, okay? And what I always like to show people when they're working on a show car finish is I fold these and put these in the cabinet there with the flat side exposed, because you guys know what happens with the nap here, don't you? If there's any kind of sharp particle, anything at all, it's just attracted and pulled into this nap. So when I'm storing them, you know, I'm not using them, I fold that sticky nap inside. But when I go to use them, I want that nap on the outside. So you always want to fold this 4 ways. That gives you 8 sides to wipe with. Look at that, gives you some cushion to spread out the pressure of your hand. And then I like to use, for show car work, I like to use the microfiber gloves. Okay, after each one of these classes, I take and wash these, you know, because that way when you put your hand in there, it isn't with someone else's hand that's been in there. But you put this on, it actually helps you to grip the towel. Now when you go to wipe this wax off, you want to basically just kind of spin it in one place, and that creates a shiny spot, okay? All the wax is gone. Now from there, you just want to take slow, overlapping little bites out, and you want to do this real gently so you don't take a chance of marring the paint by pushing so hard. And when you take little bites off at a time, here you go, when you take little bites off at a time like that, your microfiber towel can overcome the grip strength the wax has on the paint, and it'll come right off. If you try to take a huge old swipe off at one time, usually what'll happen is you'll move your hand like this, the towel will stay there and your hand will go flying off, okay? Because the wax has more power over has more grip to the paint than you're able to break free with your little hand and a towel. So just take little bites. Don't try to take it all off in one fell swoop. There you go. And here's another little tip I learned from my friend Robert DiTrelisi. I thought this was pretty good. Even though I don't see anything, run your hand over it. A lot of times if there's any kind of contaminant on there, you can feel it. He even touches it to his face. I'm sure he washes his face first. Here you go. Here you go. Thank you. Oh. Right behind you, Bill. Also, we also want to go ahead and pull the tape off here. Real carefully there. And then I'll take that. Oh, beautiful. Oh, it looks good. I think we're just about ready for machine waxing, aren't we?
No, we're there already. This is coming around with the polish. She's
okay.
This way, finishing polish, and then we're all going to get on the wax.
Look at this. Someone really went to town. That was a good idea.
Yeah.
Tape that up. And the grill's there.
The pros over here.
I know, that's why I was glad you guys showed up to help out with this. Okay,
Nice car.
it's beautiful. I need to go get some different wax pads because we don't want to cross-contaminate. Hey guys, if you got nothing to do right now, can I have you take any of the pads that are not being used and just put them back here in the towel bin, and then I wash these all the next day. And I need someone to dress the tires, so grab the, where did Dan, where did you put that applicator pad? Okay, so take that same product and let's get the tires dressed up so the whole thing has a nice crisp, clean look to it.
Go in here, Mike.
Yep. As soon as we're done, they go in there. Hey, Lance.
There he is.
Hey, it's good to see you, man. I was over by your shop today and didn't see you there. Were you? Okay.
Jeff, you done on the fender yet? Getting ready to wax again. I just put the stuff in and everyone is done.
Oh, that's okay. I'm going to take and wash these. So it's all good, man.
Good to use this tonight because this is the one I bought.
Yeah, the grills. Here's the deal. You get guys on the forum that'll kind of go, oh, this has got more power and yada, yada, yada. Here's the deal. No matter which one you have, you're going to start at 8 in the morning and buff out the entire car and be done about 4. Doesn't matter which tool you have, you're still going to start and end about the same time. So you know, everybody, some people like Coke, some people like Pepsi. Right. For me, I just help the guy use the tool as best as he can. I don't really care which tool he has.
As long as you use your product.
Well, as long as he uses a good technique. That's the key. There we go.
Like anything, huh?
Well, and that's a good thing. You don't want those pads flying off. Actually, there's a real science to Velcro, and what a lot of people don't understand is every time you take a pad on and off, this is the hook side. And the hooks start out like this, and every time you undo it, that hook starts to stretch out, and there comes a point where it's worn out, and your pads won't hold on very tightly. And some people have real unrealistic expectations. They think a Velcro hook's supposed to last forever. That ain't true. Everything wears out, including you and me.
Yeah.
got a DA and a flex. We get those tires dressed?
Yeah.
Okay. For wax. Yeah. Where are we at over here?
Hey Tommy, did you polish yours? Yeah. It's all done.
We're ready for wax?
Just finishing up this fender right here.
Okay.
I believe it's done.
Let's get the compounds and polishes off of here.
Okay, the other half of the roof we gotta do. He only did
Okay.
that.
I'll leave this here then. Rennie, which side needs it? Which side needs to be polished? This side? Okay. You know, I think we are. Yeah, we talked about it. We saw that. Yeah, that's pigtails. 44 minutes. We're just about done. Yeah, we can go ahead and set up, put the crimson pads on. I want to talk to the internet audience before we start. And this is actually the SureHold DA polisher I'm using right here. And the unique thing about this is it has a built-in GFI in the cord. Now, this thing is sort of more marketed for marine use. A lot of times people are polishing their boat while it's at dock. And so that way, if by chance the thing gets into the water, the GFI is going to turn it off and no one's going to get hurt. But the thing I think that's a real benefit to that is I teach a lot of classes on wet sanding and what we call damp sanding. And damp sanding is machine sanding with a DA like this and a little bit of water, not a lot of water. That's why it's called damp sanding. And if you don't have a GFI outlet in your garage to plug into, if you get this, you have one built into the plug, okay? So that makes it real safe to do damp sanding with electric DA polisher. If you get too much water around the motor, it's gonna kick out, it's gonna stay safe. Anyway, that's the SureHold DA polisher. Here's a little tip. A lot of times when I'm working on the hood of a car, and I don't want to put both hands up here, I take my finger, I grab the tool and I put it up here, and that way I can push down on that. So this is the final polish step. I've had Rennie, Tommy, Steve, Jeff over here. These guys are all experienced detailers. They knocked out the hard part. I kind of stepped in for the easy part. And all I'm trying to do now is just remove any of the, basically the marring left by the heavy compound cutting step in the aggressive pad by using a tangerine pad and the Blackfire finishing polish. So I don't need to apply as much pressure for this step. And here's a little technique. When I first started out, I had some product on the face of my pad and I touched it down in a couple places. That's called kissing the finish. Then I knocked out this section. Now I'm ready to come over here and pick this up, and to do that I turn the tool on. I'm just going to tip it sideways, but I'm going to leave part of the pad in contact with the paint, run over it, then instantly lay that thing down flat, and it won't throw any splatter anywhere. So it looks like this. Tip it, grab it, spread it out. Come up to it, tip it, grab it, spread it out. And this is key. Whenever you're machine polishing, you don't want to be sitting here zinging this over the paint, okay? That ain't gonna do anything. Nice and slow. Keep that pad flat to the surface. Overlap all your passes by 50%. You're right here. Hey, Bill, could you do me a favor?
Yeah.
See over there underneath the pad washer, those clean terry cloth towels?
Am I the same way as the...
Yeah, we're gonna pop that out. Let's get a microfiber glove first. Microfiber glove, so we got something clean to pop it into. Okay, just one of these is real good. Hey, Yancey, just real quick here. How to clean a pad on the fly. Okay. Okay, so I've polished out 2 sections up on the roof of this, okay, using the Blackfire finishing polish. And one of the things we talk about on the forum all the time as you're working on the car is to clean your pad on the fly. That whole technique and that term, on the fly, means a way to clean your pad quickly and get back to work. Because if you were by yourself, like I'm lucky, I got a whole team of people here to help me buff out some cars. If I was working on this all by myself, as I was telling someone else, I'd probably start early in the morning and it'd take me all day long, because you can't move the tool quickly and go faster. You got to move it slowly. But anyway, at some point you got to clean your pad. Here's how to do it on the fly. Take a clean terry cloth towel. I'm going to take, this is off, I'm going to hold this against the pad. On the back side, you can see my hand is grabbing around the pad, and I'm going to be pulling this terry cloth into the pad, and I'm going to be extracting some of the liquid out, and I'm going to be extracting some of the used up or spent product. And of course, anytime you're braiding the paint, you can't see it, but there's particles of paint on here. And so you want to get that off before you add fresh product. And here's what that would look like. I'm just moving my hand back here and I'm pulling that terry cloth towel into it. There's the excess product. There's clear coat paint in there. I'm done. That pad isn't perfectly clean, but it's clean enough to add fresh product and get back to work. That's how you clean your pad on the fly.
And this is how Mike works.
Okay. Hey, can I get one of you guys want to come up here and wipe that residue off before it dies? And I'll knock out this last section here. Thanks, Steve. There we go. Okay, we are ready to machine wax. Actually, Tommy's already going nuts up here.
These part are just all gratis. Just educational thing.
Educational. That's right. For the world. Well, usually for something like that, I charge between $800 and $1,000 just to machine polish the outside paint. That doesn't include the door jambs, the wheel wells, the tires, the trunk, or the engine, or the interior. Just the paint. That's enough to do in one day. If they want something else done, I'm happy to do it, but it's another day. It's another charge. See, detailers got to learn not to undercut themselves. Okay, hey, Yancey. We set that in the lid. There we go. I'm gonna set it real nice and careful. There you go. So when do you guys sell those things? When I get that much wax on a rag, instead of washing it, I usually don't. Well, wax doesn't really dissolve in water very good, so it'll coat every other towel in the wash machine with it, and you don't want to do that. Actually, if you want to get really anal retentive, you don't ever wash your wax towels with your compound polish towels, because compounds and polishes are water soluble. Wax isn't. So if you wash them all together, you just contaminated all of them with wax. But not everybody wants to get that anal retentive, so. Okay, you guys are both going with wax? Okay. Hey, Yancey. Yancey. I'm just going to show putting the wax on for this.
Okay.
Did you want to zoom in on this?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I got Tommy and Steve and Jeff already machine waxing. Rennie's finishing up a little bit of polishing on the driver's side fender, but here's how you machine apply a wax. We got the Blackfire wet diamond. I've already taken it out of the jar, holding it with the microfiber towel. I'm just gonna make a few swipes across the face of the pad, just like that. And this thing is ready to go to town. Now for this, I'm gonna turn the speed setting down. It's about the 4, okay? You don't need high speed to put wax on. Take my little glove off, keep it right here where it's nice and clean. When you're machine waxing, you just need to go over each square inch 2 or 3 times, then move on to new territory. You can go pretty quick. We're not trying to remove defects here, so we don't need to move slowly and allow any kind of abrasives to abrade the paint. We're just trying to spread out a nice thin, uniform coating. And the advantages of machine waxing over hand waxing is you get your hand out of the picture. And a lot of times when you're holding a wax pad, you've got your 4 fingers sandwiched between the wax pad, you're putting pressure down in 4 little pressure points. When you got a black car like this, you need a flawless finish. You don't want pressure points pushing down on a wax pad. You want all that pressure spread over a nice, even, large pad, just like that. That's how you get show car results. You get your hand out of the picture. I do. It's probably, if it's, no, that's Zenith. Don't use that. It's not up there on the shelf. I usually keep it right back here, so let me look inside here. And it's out there on the shelf. Oh, there. Make sure. Perfect. Perfect vision. Oops. Which question? Both? All?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Hey, the pads we use tonight are the Hydratech. We're using the 5.5-inch thin pads. They're 7/8 of an inch thick, so they're thin is the better way to say it. They're very thin. Hey, let's go ahead and pull the tape off here when you guys get a chance. And we use this with the DA and also with the Flex 3401 tonight. And we were using the 3-inch pads on a flexible backing pad plate on the PE14 for doing some surgical buffing. That was Jeff. Jeff, hold up your hand. So Jeff was, hold up your hand. As Jeff was doing all the surgical buffing with the rotary buffer tonight, getting into those tight little areas. But every pad we used tonight was a Hydratech. A lot of times the reason we use those is because I already have a collection of them out here. We wash them, we reuse them. To tell you the truth, we could use any pad and get good results. The most important part is usually the abrasive technology, not so much the pad technology. It's important to use a good pad, but that's not the most important thing. Good technique and the right abrasives. Oh, the shirt hold, that's the first time I've ever used it, by the way. I thought it had plenty of power. I pushed down really hard. I couldn't get it to stop. And also it was very smooth and very quiet. So something else I kind of noticed about it. Thanks for asking that question, Fred. Okay, so again, I think the only thing we have left is wax on this panel. Okay. No, the fender. I think Rainey just got done polishing it. Yep. So I've got plenty of wax probably still on my pad. Then we're going to let Yancey come in here and get some beauty shots. Can I get you guys someone to put these over there? Yeah, this is all waxed. Oh, everything's waxed? Okay, yeah, here, garbage over there.
There's no wax here. Okay, yeah, there is.
What do you want us to use? The green?
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a good idea to have the gloves on. There's a couple of pair back there if you want to go. Can someone grab a couple of those gloves back there? Did everybody here get a chance to see this finish when it first came in? Who didn't? Okay, I know, Lance, you got here kind of late. It wasn't super bad. Okay, this is a show car, but it did have light swirls and scratches everywhere in the finish. And so we went ahead and compounded and polished the entire car, and now we machine wax it. And now at this point, we're ready to very carefully wipe this wax off. And I guess we call this Camaro night at Auto Geek Show Car Garage. On June 24th, Thursday night, we have, I think I've got 2 different Mustangs scheduled to come in. I always post what's coming on under the...
I won't be here.
You won't be here, Rennie?
Mustang.
Oh, okay, Mustang. But I always post every project that's coming up to autogeekonline.net at the bottom of the page. If there's anything going on in the garage, just check out the bottom of the forum homepage and you'll see it announced there. And of course, if you live locally, you're always invited to come on down and join in the fun. We're done with everything. Yeah, if someone wants to gather up the extension cords for the beauty shots. Yeah, it looks really nice. The hardest thing about black is once you get it nice, it's keeping it nice. So, hey Dan.
Yeah.
Hey, when this goes back into Wherever you keep it, do you have a plan to keep it clean and dust-free?
Yeah, you call me.
And call Tommy, he'll come over and dust it for you.
Okay. Is that good to do or no?
Well, the point is come over here and look at the finish. Okay, the average person can't maintain this finish.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not even the owner of the car probably.
Wow.
Yeah, he needs to get a really nice car cover. And the thing about car covers is I actually have the pictures for an article on how to put a car cover on and take one off. I haven't posted it yet, but most guys, they buy really nice expensive car covers and then they put scratches in their paint because they don't know how to put it on, they don't know how to take it off. And a lot of times you're by yourself, you don't have the better half, a girlfriend, a buddy to help you take it off, so you're by yourself. So it's real important to use a good technique so you don't put scratches back in. But he really does need to get a nice car cover for this. And then what I always tell guys is after they get that nice car cover, they need to get a nice place to put it. You don't want to have a really nice expensive car cover and then take it off and wad it up and throw it on the garage floor. That defeats the purpose of the car cover. Yeah. But we can put him in touch with one of our sales reps here because we sell Covercraft. They make a really nice one just for this.
I have one from Covercraft.
Yeah, isn't it nice?
It's nice. And you can wash it too. This car hasn't looked like it's ever. This is very nice. Nice, right?
Yeah, oh man, this looks like black oil, like a pool of oil, which is how it should look, you know. It's, I don't know what the overall cost was to do the restoration on this. I think how long did the guy own this, Dan?
36 years.
He's owned the same car for 36 years. What is it, 19? I can't do the math in my head. When did he buy it?
Long time.
Long time. Yeah.
It was in storage apart for 26 years.
Wow.
And they told him either sell it or let's do it.
And he ponied up to the table and you got the job done. So Dan, where's your restoration shop?
Jupiter, Florida.
What's it called?
Muscle Express.
Muscle Express. A little free promo there for you. So if you're watching this and you need a muscle car restored, or you sell them too, don't you? You have.
Build them, we sell them, we mail order parts so people could do their own restorations, interiors.
What's your website address?
MuscleExpressUSA.com.
MuscleExpressUSA.com. Okay. Well, there's a little promo. We appreciate you trusting Auto Geek with your car.
It looks great.
So.
Unbelievable.
And we left the grill vents, the sheet metal down there just like we found it. There's no polish residue down there. And Steve's back here putting the emblem back on for the Camaro. We took that off so we could polish around it. I always recommend if you can remove it, remove it. If you can get the owner to remove it, that's actually better. A lot of times the owner of a car like this will be very familiar with all the script or emblems or trim that can come off. Let them take it off. That way if they break it, they did it, not you. If they don't want to take it off, then you got to decide whether yourself if you want to be the guy that takes that off. So when I look at this, it looks really good. Yancy, I want to just demonstrate the final wipe technique since it's an article and it's also in my how-to book. When you get a car completely wiped down, there's a technique called the final wipe. Now here's what I see, especially on a dark color car like black. A lot of times the guy gets the wax wiped off, he looks at it under different light and he sees streaks or splotchy areas. Have you guys ever seen that before? Okay, so here's what the average guy does. He sees a streak in the paint after he wipes the wax off. First, let me tell you what that streak is. Assuming the streak wasn't there before you started, now it's there, it's residue. It's wax residue you didn't get off yet. So your job is to get it off. Here's how you get it off. What most guys do, first of all, they don't have a quality microfiber towel. They come down there and they wipe like a madman, and they push real hard and they put scratches back in. And what you're trying to do is get the stuff that's on the paint to get onto here. And you can't, if you're moving this thing at light speed, you know, there's no time for it to transfer onto the towel. So how about this idea? Bring it down and just wipe it really nice and slow. It's called the final wipe. And microfibers get their name because the fibers are microscopic in size. And when you and I look at this, it looks like it's smooth and very flat. But if you look at this under a microscope, there's little hills and valleys. And what you want is you want these tiny little microscopic fibers to be able to roll into those little hills and valleys, grab that residue, and pull it out. And that's called the final wipe. And it isn't a madman brisk wipe. It's just really nice and slow. Now, I don't see any streaks on here. That means my guys did a good job. But I just wanted to demonstrate the technique for those out there in internet land watching this, and for all the people in the future that'll be watching this up on YouTube. So when you're all done, give your car a final wipe. Time to take the wheel maskers off. And that's an article on autogeekonline.net you can find. It's also my how-to book, The Art of Detailing, and in a whole bunch of videos. Guys, are we done? I think we're done. That looks good. Okay, tell you what, let's all get out of the way. You want to come in and get some beauty shots, and then we'll wrap this thing up. Maybe we can get a shot of everybody that worked on the cars. Hey, everybody, come on in. Let's get a final video capture here. And then we'll let Yancey get in here and get some beauty shots. Yeah, clean up the workbench a little bit. Okay, we're good. Oh, I'm sorry. We got Steve over here putting the side mirrors on. Okay, Steve, all attention's on you. Hey, by the way, can you get a close-up of Steve there? Steve, raise your hand. Say hi. Okay, Steve is the guy that owns the 1969 Indy pace car, the white one with the orange houndstooth interior that we detailed down here, I don't know, about 3 or 4 months ago. Steve, how many first places have you taken with that since we finished buffing it out? Three places and 1 second place. Tommy beat me on that. Tommy, raise your hand. Tommy has the 1970 and a half Camaro that we buffed out down here. How many first places have you won since we buffed out your car?
3 and a bunch of seconds, plus a bunch of top 10s.
Oh, cool. Very good. And I heard you're going to be in a magazine. Is that true?
Yeah.
Which magazine?
Super Chevy.
Super Chevy. Do you know what month it's going to come out? August of this month, this year? Yeah. Okay, so watch for Super Chevy Magazine, August of 2012, and you'll see Tommy's green and black 7.5 split bumper Camaro with the 468 big block Chevy. And Lance, are you here? Lance is over here. Lance, step over here. When you see that, Lance did the interior. Raise your hand there, Lance. And Lance does show car interiors. His shop is right next to Auto Geek. I've seen his work. It's absolutely flawless. Everything he touches comes out looking like somebody's dream come true. So anyway, so that's Tom. Have we got anybody else? Rennie, we buffed out your 2012 red jewel tint Camaro, didn't we?
Correct.
Now you remember the Camaro Club, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, but you don't really show it professionally, do you?
No, mine's still stock.
It's a stock. In fact, you're the only, I think you told me you're the only guy in the club that has a bone stock Camaro. So, but you're going to fix that, aren't you?
Well, I'm going to keep it a sleeper.
Okay. Steve, have you got it all done?
Yes.
Okay, and then we got a couple other guys here. Raise your hand. Don, raise your hand. So Don here owns a 1964 and a half Mustang, bought brand new in his family kept all the way to this day. He was on a first episode of our TV show, and he actually keeps it up by hand. If you saw the show, it looks pretty good, but he is going to bring it down, and we're going to see what a machine can do to that original 1964 and a half, probably enamel paint 64, past the lacquer days. It's past that. It's now enamel. And then we got Bill here. Bill, where are you at? Oh, Bill's right here. Bill was on our TV show too. Bill has a 67 Mustang. It's a fastback GTA. The A stands for automatic transmission. And he was also on our show. And again, his looks great. But you know what? Even a show car can oftentimes use just a little freshening up. You know, if you're always out there just wiping, you know, on the car, you slowly but slowly build up some really fine scratches, and the best way to remove them is by machine. So we'll probably have them both down here at the same time since they're buddies. They're a member of the local Mustang Club. They're a member of Gui's. We'll machine polish them, and then you'll be good for a couple more years. So, okay, we got everybody in here. Get in here, Dan. Okay, so this is this is what I call my transition team. So this, hey, big round of applause for you guys. You did a great job, man. Okay. Now we're gonna step out of the way and let Yancey come in and get some beauty shots. You guys, I got cold water over here if you want one. I know I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
Pretty good on that show there, Mike.
Hey guys, this is just so you guys a little bit of background knowledge on a TV set. Right now, they would have everybody leave the room because usually what happens is us guys right here, we're all walking around talking, and although they're not capturing video, as they're capturing, or they're not capturing audio, as they're capturing video, when you walk around, your reflections change everything in the chrome and in the paint. And so what they do is they have everybody leave the room when they get the beauty shots. We're not that picky. You guys can walk around if you want to. But if you want to learn a little bit about video capture, watch Yancey. Now, he built this, we call this a boom. It's got all kinds of names. I looked it up. They call it a Jimmy boom, a camera boom, a boom jib, a jib boom. But basically, it's just a big old a boom camera, and he's got a little tiny little camera on the end of that because that works best for a compression for broadcasting over the internet.
How about bada boom?
Bada boom? Yeah, I've heard that one. And if you look at the floor here, notice the floor is smooth and we got the tile here. If we tiled the whole thing, he would not be able to, if he did roll it, he'd go bump, 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 bump all the way. So we keep this side all smooth just for rolling the boom back and forth. Little behind the scenes trivia that a lot of people don't realize.
It's not magic, it actually really happens.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, right on. Oh, perfect XL, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, cool. I got a free shirt out of the deal. Man, your Camaro, look at it. It just glistens.
I know, that's what it used to look like.
Yeah, and the top's all has a dark sheen. The tires are all freshened up.
I'm always afraid that stuff makes it too shiny, you know, the vinyl, the ties, but that's just right.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I called Forrest Tootsie at Mother's before we did this today, and he said that he recommended that product so it wouldn't be all shiny. It would have what's called a natural sheen is the word. So, yeah, that thing came out looking nice. And he got a coat of wax, you know, it's ready to go back out and drive.
How often should you wax it?
How good the black one good for?
You know, that question is really common, how often to wax. And the actual answer is it really depends on how the car is used and treated. So if the black Camaro here was driven every single day, sitting out in a parking lot at work, but maybe kept into a garage at nighttime, you know, you could probably easily get 3 or 4 months protection. But you know what? What you really want to do is if you think about this, I always use the analogy of an oil change. You don't change the oil in your car when every last little bit of lubricating characteristics are completely gone. You know, you'd lose your bearings, you know, you'd start to wear out your rings. That's right. So you practice preventative maintenance. You change the oil before it's worn out. So a good practice on a car is instead of waiting till there's just no water beating and the car's all dull and lifeless, hey, wash it and wax it before it's worn off. Preventative maintenance.
How about the Showtime finishes like the Mother's?
That's a quick detail that adds gloss, and if you use that, yeah, and it extends the amount of time between waxing. Also using a high quality wash mitt, and one of the things I cover in my book in all my classes, and I think you guys, everybody just pay attention, think about this. Have you ever watched anybody washing a car? Here's what they usually do. I'll tell you what, hand me one of those green things. Pretend this is a wash mitt. I'm a people watcher. If you go to the airport, you're waiting for your plane flight, and you watch all the people walking around, you're wondering, what were they thinking when they got dressed, right? Okay, most people, when they wash a car, they dip their wash mitt in the bucket, and they don't think about it. They just sit here and they rub that wash mitt all over the car. Oh, da-da-da-da-da, I'm just washing my car. Okay, if you have dirt on the hood of the car, how many times do you think you need to move the mitt over the paint to loosen it? How many times? 1 time? Okay, 2 times? 3 times, maybe 4 times, but you don't need to be doing this for an hour, do you? So watch people wash cars. They don't even pay attention. All you want to do is you just want to make a couple passes over a finish like this, loosen the dirt, and then rinse it off, okay? Move on to a new section. If you do have dirt on there and you keep running that wash mitt over the car, you're going to grind the dirt into the paint, and there's where your swirls and scratches come from. So only use the mitt enough to loosen the dirt, and then rinse it off. That's a good question, though. But how long a wax lasts depends on how the car is touched after you wipe off that wax. And how's it touched? You're going to run through a car wash where the brushes hit it, it ain't going to last very long. You're going to wash it with the highest quality wash mitt, a really soft, non-detergent car wash, and pay attention to what you're doing. It's going to last a lot longer. But keep in mind, car wax is a sacrificial barrier coating. It's meant to wear off. What it does, this is how I worded on the form, is it sacrifices itself when something touches it that might attack it. It sacrifices itself so the paint doesn't have to sacrifice itself. So it does wear off, but it's supposed to because it saves the paint. Your job is to put some more back on so it can sacrifice itself again. So it's called a sacrificial barrier coating. Anyway, hey guys, I think that's all we got tonight. Did you get all the B-roll you needed? Okay, and I don't know, these things look phenomenal. How many people was their first time here tonight? Can you raise your hand? Okay, so we got Bill, Don, Dave, and Dan, and Jonah and Brandon. Okay, I can't want to say Noah instead of Jonah. Okay, so hey, so we had some brand new people here tonight. Everybody got in, worked real hard. You guys all have a good time? Yeah. Hey, how about a quick round of applause for Yancey, because he could have went home, but he stuck around and videoed this. Thank you, Yancey. Okay. And we'll be back again on June 24th. So share the link that you found this video on our forum with all your car buddies. And of course, you can find it up on the AutoGeek YouTube too. So that's youtube.com/AutoGeek. And we'll see you again. And that's it from AutoGeek Show Car Garage here in sunny Stuart, Florida. Later. And you walk.